Hello, hello! Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this Friday morning or Friday afternoon, wherever you're watching us from. I'm Natalie, this is Claire, and we have Rupert down here, who is fast asleep on this Friday afternoon here in the UK. He has that kind of siesta time just after lunch. He's
very Mediterranean.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
He is. So we are here today to talk about everything to do with the Los Angeles Lifter Film Festival and the biggest movers of the week.
Very exciting.
Yes, it is. So, Los Angeles Liftoff poster there, nice and green for everyone to see. And as you all know, Los Angeles is running from the 13th of September through to the 11th of October. And all of the official selections are live on Vimeo and exclusively on Vimeo as they're our streaming partners. So there are 8 programs totaling 717 films.
Wowza.
It's insane the amount of films that have come through the platform for Los Angeles. And what's really, really fun to see is that everyone is supporting each individual program. Votes are flying in left, right and centre. And that's what we're going to be talking about today.
As we're about to see. Absolutely.
Yes. We do have the chat room open, so do say hello to us. And for those who don't know, every Monday we do a filmmakers interview. And we did that last week with 3 filmmakers who are taking part in the Los Angeles Festival. And we chose them directly from the chat room. So it's the people who engage the most that we will invite on to either this Monday comings or the Monday followings interviews. So do give your film a shout out. Say which films that you have been enjoying watching.
Yep.
And if you just ask us any questions that you may have.
Yeah. So far we've got hello to Ollie in San Francisco.
Whoop.
We've got Fitbody Cows from Atlanta. We've got Film Guayacos from Ecuador. And Zamview Henry from Zambia.
Wow, from Zambia.
And the boy from the wild from London. So already we've got a very diverse chat room, which is amazing. Very cool.
Yes, it is. So as you all know, these films are on Vimeo on demand, and I was going to say the link is in the description, but it came out backwards. The link to these videos is in the description below. So you can just click there and it will take you through to the 8 different programs. So we've got our trailer here that we would like to show you about how to vote. If you do have any questions, we've understood that there has been a few complications with this, but now is your chance to ask us any questions regarding the voting system. So I'm just going to turn the microphones. Ooh, come on. There we go. Sticky mouse. Really sticky mouse.
There we go.
So I'm just going to turn us. Our online festivals are designed to bring much-needed new eyes to true indie film. They are a tried and tested method of providing a platform of diverse work to a large audience. The voting process is specifically created to engage people with the collection and provide valuable insights for the filmmakers. Once you purchase the collection, to watch the films, you'll be sent a welcome email which will contain your voting link. Before the festival closes, head to the online form to cast your votes. You must select your 2 favourite films, and it is strictly 1 set of votes per person. Throughout the festival, we'll be running events on our YouTube channel, such as live festival updates, free workshops and promotional filmmaker interviews. Filmmakers will receive daily updates from the festival. Thank you for participating in the Liftoff Film Festival and supporting indie film. All right, that is the voting system. It always starts playing again. There we go. So that's the voting system. If you do have any questions regarding anything you've just seen, do let us know and we will do our best to answer those. But without further ado, let's crack on to find out which films are the biggest movers of the week and the film that is currently in the lead. So the film that appears first is the one that has the highest votes and is currently leading in that individual program. The 2 films underneath that are the ones that have had the biggest movement of the week. They aren't necessarily in second or third position. We just like to give other films the opportunity for a shout out.
Absolutely.
So Claire, do you want to take away on this one?
Yes, but first, just to address Fitbody Cows, is there a way to send the voters an email to let them know that they have only voted for 1 film and required to vote for 2? This is something we are absolutely looking into. unfortunately, we're not web developers, but we are trying our best to sort of migrate our festivals to an online platform as best as we can. We are absolutely looking into this. We sort of plaster over the place that people must select 2 films because we want it to be as fair as possible. We want it to be a genuinely engaging experience where people are actually consuming the content and thinking about genuine feedback. But that is something we're going to look into, is whether we can sort of fire an email to somebody who doesn't vote correctly or something like that. But for the meantime, if you could just tell supporters that if they think if they know they didn't select 2 films, go ahead and just resubmit the form and then the vote will count.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, on to new voices, and let's kick off with our features programme. Doing amazingly well. We've got a lot of people watching these, 112 viewers from 11 different countries. So far, 67 people have chosen their 2 favourite films. And that's as of today at 11 a.m. So we have Primal in first place, 12 votes. Your Colour, Dine Farb on 6. And then Cobalt Heir on 5 votes. So, in top position at Primal, directed by John Humphreys. A scattered college kid, Arlo, and his frat bro roommate Blake try to navigate their hypermasculine tendencies, and their aggression boils over when they end up competing for the same girl.
We mentioned this film last week, actually.
We did.
So it's good to see that it's holding its position.
Yeah. So then we had Your Colour, a big mover this week, now on 6 votes. Dine Farb, directed by Maria Diane Ventura. Hailing from disparate backgrounds, Carl and Albert bond over their desire to escape their small-town existence and move to Barcelona in search of a happier life. With their mutual sense of humour and provocative ideas, they decide to document their youthful adventures with the dream of sharing their passions publicly.
Ooh.
Very cool, and love Barcelona.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I need to go back there soon.
And then we have Cobalt Heir, directed by Zach Fortney, an American film. A naive young filmmaker has one summer to live out his dreams and prove his talent before being thrust into a family business he wants no part of. Brotherhoods of both blood and bond are tested as his drive for perfection consumes him.
So then moving on to Shorts 1, we've had 178 viewers from 16 countries, and the programme is currently on 79 votes, according to the stats that came through at 11 a.m. BST today. So currently in top position with 21 votes, we have Bunkers. And then the 2 top movers are B on 9 votes and Brush currently on 6 votes. So Bunkers is directed by Ollie Anderson from the USA, and he was one of the filmmakers that we interviewed on Monday. So if you haven't had a chance to check that out, it's in our YouTube channel, and it's probably one of the top films there, as it was only on Monday that we did this interview. And it's amazing because it talks about how the film was developed, where the idea came from, and how the animation was created. And it's a really, really fun interview just to understand what level the filmmakers are at and just get a better understanding of who they are and what they're trying to achieve.
Definitely.
Really, really good. So Bunkers. After finding an ancient golf course in the jungles of San Francisco, the worst golfer of the year, Starlo von Sourdough, discovers he can recover the treasures of eternal life during the COVID-19 global pandemic. But first, he's got to learn the rules of golf, and in particular, bunkers. So there's a great poster there. And considering this was made literally at the beginning of lockdown, it's great to see that there are so many laurels on this poster as well.
Yeah.
So well done, Ollie, for holding your position there. Moving on to B, directed by Savannah Mears, also from the USA. B explores the inner dialogue of depression and anxiety and how pain can be used for purpose when we choose to seek light amidst darkness. The contrasting inner senses of panic and peace are conveyed through the sensory elements of sound and lighting. Nice. I wonder if this film's shot on film. I need to watch this film, actually. The poster gives that image away. And then Brush, directed by Garrett Lewis, is another animation, also from the USA. Brush is an animated short film that follows a boy growing up through the lens of his bathroom mirror.
So people like their animation.
Yeah,
on
that's
this
really,
program.
really nice to see.
That's cool. Over to New Voices Shorts 2. 150 people watching from 12 countries. 69 votes in thus far. So we've got 2 films currently tied in the top position there. You've got The Resistance and PARIKATHA on 13 votes. And shout out to a big mover this week, Good Counsel, on 5 votes now. So, The Resistance, directed by Valencia Kelly. The civilized world dangles on its last thread before descending into total chaos from the rise of the New World Order. Armed with the knowledge of her husband, Dr. Jacob Martyr's creation and his mission, Zuri Martyr picks up the mantle to not only avenge his untimely demise, but to forge a more humane world.
Ooh.
Action-packed.
Yeah, it looks action-packed.
And PARIKATHA, directed by SHASHANK VISHNU DUTT, an Indian film with a cool poster.
Very cool.
She is destined to be crowned the fairy queen of all land, a land that has been plagued with madness. She could cure the people with her magic and all would be merry once again, but her magic was stolen from her and hidden in the ocean. The people, plagued, don't believe in her anymore. He does. He is in love with her and she with him. She is saddened that the plague has made him lose his laughter. She could have accomplished so much if only he'd laugh. His laughter could have been her strength, but it doesn't exist anymore. All hope is lost, but the two are resilient. They march on stealthily, hiding from the world, to fulfill a prophecy that can be realised on a fateful full moon night, where a blood sacrifice by the ocean could bring back his laughter, restore her magic, and cure the land of the plague. Oh, that sounds very sort of fairy tale magical, doesn't it?
Which means the poster's even more better as she's wearing her crown.
Exactly. Very cool. And then Good Counsel, an American film directed by David J. Levine. A desperate couple seeks professional marital advice. As the chaos in their marriage boils to the surface, the darkest truth is exposed. Congratulations to all of you.
Yes. Then moving on to Trendsetters features. So currently this programme is on 94 votes from 23 countries. Is on 94 viewers from 23 countries and are currently on 16 votes. That's a lot of people that still need to get their votes in. So here we have Tommy Emmanuel, The Endless Road on 7 votes. The Making of a Man on 2 votes and Evergreen also on 2 votes. Tommy Emmanuel, The Endless Road, directed by Jeremy Dillon Potts. An Australian film. So from the Australian outback to Music City, USA, a child guitar prodigy dedicates his life to become the world's greatest acoustic guitarist, even as the revelations of dark family secrets send him into a battle with addiction that threatens to destroy his career, his family, and his life. The Making of a Man, directed by Lo Dagerman, also from the USA. Lo wants to find out what led his father's legacy Swedish writer Stig Dagerman, who died when she was 3, to pen a searing, brutal play about toxic masculinity. The play was inspired by people Stig met during a 1947 visit to Paris, a city reeling to wake of the Nazi occupation. It follows a chilling trial of a young man bullied for being a coward, who searches for a way to become a real man. The Making of a Man. Just staring into that poster.
Yeah. Very cool.
It makes you think. And then finally, Evergreen, directed by Paul Goodman. Also, another US film. It's great because this is obviously the Los Angeles Film Festival. It's so good to see so many American film and filmmakers participating in the festival.
And a high percentage of the audiences come from North America. So it seems to be that the majority of the audience on each programme are either the USA and Canada. Which also makes sense.
And we've got a lot of people in the chat room. So if you have seen a film that you're super interested in, do reach out to us. It's one of the tips we say to filmmakers for networking at an online festival. Reach out to the festival organisers because we can perhaps put you in touch with the filmmakers that you are interested in connecting with.
Yeah, I can see here, Rod Sayers has said to Ollie, I would like to contact you. Because what's it say? Sorry,
it all just jumped around.
It just shifted because we're working on an animated feature and we could join forces.
There we go.
Very cool. We love this.
So the chat room's not only to ask us questions, but also ask questions among yourselves and network.
Yeah.
Cool. So Evergreen, directed by Paul Goodman. On his way up north to visit a friend, Ben picks up a mutual acquaintance, Sam, from her apartment in the city. Instead of taking the interstate, they both agree for a longer but more scenic coastal highway, exploring and developing a companionship. Upon reaching San Francisco later that evening, the two decide to divorce destinations from collusion and get back into their car to find out just how far the Pacific Coast Highway will take them. Along the route, the windy through weathered towns, get giant forests, state lines, and the realization that the further they go, the closer they become to those forces that keep them looking back are being left far behind. Cool poster again as well.
Okay, so just before we move on to Trendsetters Shorts 1, going to sort of tie two of these questions together. Shanna has asked how come some votes have been lost. Is it because people haven't voted for two films? That's the majority of the reason. Sometimes it's because people have voted twice, normally by accident. They just don't know whether the vote's gone through or not. So those get removed. And then the boy from the wild has said, am I right in saying a vote is from a paid ticket through Vimeo in order to be counted? So as long as you have either signed up to rent the collection with a free filmmaker link, or you have rented the collection via our site or Vimeo directly, then you can vote. But we're trying so hard. This is not like a popularity contest vote, so we do want to keep the votes strictly to people who are engaging in the festival.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, I think that answers those two together. So, on to Trendsetters Shorts 1. 167 viewers from 9 countries on 117 votes. So this is the programme where the most votes have rolled in so far. We have Sam and Emma on 29 votes.
Yeah, wow. I think that's probably, if you look at the programme as a whole, in the lead.
We're Not Dead Yet on 8. And then we have 3 films which have jumped up over the last week to 7. So we've got The Tattoo Club, Kenji, The Rising Sun. We've got The Necessities and Finger Guns. So Sam and Emma, directed by Vanessa Lee. When their love wanes after a miscarriage, 2 heartbroken women try to piece together their relationship, highlighting the hardship and dysfunction that can arise from trauma and grief. Then we've got We're Not Dead Yet, directed by Tim Clifton. Watch as 2 women drag anyone in the way of their downhill slide while kicking and screaming their mantra, "We're not dead yet. If you know what's good for you, get the hell out of their way."
I mean, it's a fun image.
Yes. Then we've got The Tattoo Club, Kenji, The Rising Sun, directed by Kendrick Simmons. So this is a short backstory of Kenji. After the war and on the brink of starvation, Hitori, Kenji's father, decides to poison his family to prevent them from suffering. Things don't go as planned, and Kenji's journey is forced upon him. Amazing. The Necessities, directed by Benjamin Font. Stuck in an existential loop, somehow involving a strip club, the church, and a dream that may result in his own death, a man attempts to break his world down to its bare bones in order to avoid any further worries and strife and change the outcome of the dream.
I love that
There's
poster
a lot
as well.
to unpack there.
That's a really fun poster.
There's a lot going on. Very cool. And then Finger Guns, directed by NIKOLA SRECKOVIC from Australia.
Yay.
Nice to see an Aussie film there.
Yeah, there's 2 now that we've mentioned today.
When a group of 4 young siblings are playing finger guns at home, they discover that the youngest, Lucy, can shoot actual bullets with her fingers. Lucy soon starts abusing this strange power and orders her siblings do as she demands. As Lucy's requests become more and more difficult, her siblings decide that they have to revolt.
So I was just reading their poster there as well. Finger guns don't kill people. People with fingers, guns do. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, then moving on to Trendsetter Shorts 2. So we've had 100. We've had 87 viewers from 13 countries, and it's currently on 25 votes, which means there's lots of votes still to come in. So Southdown is on 79. No, Southdown 79 is on 7 votes. So if it's on 79 votes, that would be insane. Intern Etiquette is on 3 votes, and Everest is on 3 votes.
Cool.
So Southdown 79, directed by Matthew Price, is a film from the USA. With their lifelong friendships coming to a devastating end, an unhinged Jay and a sentimental Boone take a rundown car on a road trip to try and figure out what went wrong. Love the tones in that poster.
Very professional as well.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very cool. And then Into Etiquette, directed by Colin Francis Costello, another American film. What happens when we are alone and distance for too long? I think there's a lot of people in this situation right now.
Yeah.
And then Avarice, directed by Ryan Prenti, also a USA film. After discovering a large sum of cash tied to a body in the lake, 3 fishermen must decide how to proceed. As greed weaves distrust in the group, they battle with not only each other, but also a more sinister force. Again, another photo that looks really eerie. And
Yeah, cool. Again,
very cool.
Great shot.
I'm really looking forward to watching these films. Really looking forward to it.
Definitely.
Is there any more questions in the chat room?
No, lots of great chat going on though. Lots of people saying if they, try their hand in animation, Ollie will be their guy.
Good.
Yeah. So no, that's really cool to see. Thank you. So Trendsetters 3, 131 viewers from 15 countries, 68 votes placed as of 11 a.m. today. So we've got Persuasive on 26, another film right out in front of them. Then Everything's Fine, a panic attack in D major, great title, on 8 votes. And another big mover is Adversity, episodes 1 to 3 on 7 votes. So Persuasive, directed by J. Ryder Ward. After a tragic event, an African-American woman decides to join the police force. Then Everything's Fine, a panic attack in D major, directed by Zach Morrison. A musical comedy about a woman at the onset of her quarter-life crisis and her existential journey through the various stages of anxiety in song and dance.
Sounds great. Sounds really fun.
And then we've got Adversity, episodes 1 to 3, directed by D.L. Fairbanks. So 8 TV writers in a network diversity program designed to cater to PC culture compete for a staff position while being led by a racist, washed-up exec left over from the days before cable.
And then moving on to the final page of the programme, Trendsetters Shorts 4. 96 viewers from 16 countries and currently on 33 votes. So Swipe leads the way along with In My Head on 5 votes and Libba is currently on 3 votes. So Swipe, directed by John Sachs, American film here again. 2 heartbroken New Yorkers meet through a dating app that proves to be much more complicated than anticipated. Yellow always pops, doesn't it? I'm like drawn to the yellow. In My Head, directed by Charlie G. In My Head is a spoken word short film that looks into the mind of poet Jason David Frank, a look into personality disorders and what would happen if you could confront all the characteristics that make up your personality.
Nice.
And then finally, Libba, directed by Colin Henning, another American film. The late Grammy Award winner Elizabeth Cotton taught herself guitar, left-handed and upside down, as a young girl in North Carolina, and then didn't touch the guitar for 40 years. She returned to the guitar to record her 1958 album using Elizabeth Cotton's songs to bridge the 40 years where she didn't play. The film explores why Miss Cotton gave up her music to begin with and why she chose to return to it.
Ah, nice.
Okay, well, that is the roundup then for this week's Los Angeles Liftoff Film Festival. But I think it's really cool to talk about what prizes are up for grabs and where this can lead to.
Absolutely.
So every year we have our red carpet event here at Pinewood Studios. It's called the Liftoff Season Awards, and there will be a handful of nominations up for grabs. Everything from what you can see there: best short live action narrative, best documentary, acting ensemble, best art direction, cinematography, screenplay, best first time film, post production, music video, animation, director, feature live action narrative, and feature documentary. So there's lots and lots of stuff going on there, and it is one of our favourite events that we do throughout the year. Fingers crossed we can do something cool this year. I'm really hoping the restrictions are lifted, because a party on this scale with 6 people just isn't what it is. Last year we had between 250, I think it was 250 people here at Pinewood Studios, and it was just such a fun event. Also, there are 2 rounds to this competition, so the audience choice and jury selections from each of the 8 programs will will migrate onto the network round. From here, selected winners will receive live screenings at Los Angeles Liftoff Film Festival in 2021. We will be back in LA. We'll make it bigger and better than ever before. And Raleigh Studios, we've already contacted them being like, we want to host there next year. So hopefully everyone is vaccinated by that point. But that's not only it. We also have the Audience Choice Award, where the films with the most votes will then join us here live on YouTube for a director's commentary, where the audience who have followed those films and supported those films have the chance to ask the questions directly to the filmmakers. This is another stream that is one of my favorites, and we've done quite a few of them now. Yeah. And in a couple of weeks, we've got the Toronto Liftoff Festival Audience Choice going ahead, and I'm really excited for that. So we're screening their films muted in the background. They get to talk about all of the different things that happened on the shoots, the ups, the downs, and how the festival circuit has been treating them, and where the film is going next, if they're looking for distribution or just using it as a calling card to launch their next film. Lots of these questions to be asked and more fun things to find out. So that's the Audience Choice Awards. So do get your votes in. We need those 2 votes, as Claire's mentioned before, for your votes to be valid. But this is an awesome, awesome prize. And I thoroughly look forward to seeing which films and filmmakers we'll be interviewing. So, are you a filmmaker looking to launch your career? We also have a professional membership. It's $189 a year, and it includes everything that is listed here, from free submissions to all of our 26 festivals worldwide and showcases that take place here at PRIMAL Studios. We do one-to-one career road mapping session and group career road mapping sessions where we talk you through stumbles that you may be facing in your career and how the best way to overcome those may be. Joining us here in the audience will happen one day. It will. We will get that back. And then we have a fantastic jobs board on there as well. And then film market representation at all of the major film markets. This is where we take a handful of projects and we try and connect your project to sale agents and distributors that align. And it's just a great way to break down that barrier and for you to meet the right people. And this is another area that personally I find very exciting. Claire and I often attend the film markets, and the relationships that we're building is really, really good. And we can see it's working for our filmmakers because we're connecting them, and now they have talks with different sale agents. Really, really good. So all of the information you can find on liftoff.network/membership. And just a massive thank you for watching and supporting True Indie Film. And as I mentioned before, there are links in the description below. So what is coming up next?
I think this is going to address J. Wright Award's question of, are we still interviewing filmmakers?
Yes, we are. So our next interview is on Monday, where we'll be inviting 3 other filmmakers. The people who have been active in the chat, we will be looking at 3 of you there for the following weeks, just to see what is going on and who we can get on. So if you are super interested in that, do let us know right now and we will try and prioritize you for those interviews. Ollie Anderson is there. He's got his hearts in the chat room. And we, as I mentioned before, we interviewed him last Monday, so that can be found on our YouTube channel. And then the following Friday, we'll be doing the next roundup, where we'll be finding out which films have been the biggest movers of the week and finding out which films they are.
Amazing.
Cool. I think that is everything. If you do have any other questions, you've got another minute to get those in. But I think that was the last question there.
I think that was. So in the meantime,
thank you as well.
Yeah, thank you. And we hope you all have a great week watching all the films.
Cool. Bye, guys.